The idea of fear is universal. No matter where you are or where you are from, you will always be afraid of something. It's a human instinct, born of evolution. Fear is the way that our brains tell us that something was dangerous back in the earlier days. For instance, fear of darkness is almost universal. This is probably because there were dangerous predators in the night when we were hunters and cavemen. Now, while there may not be a tiger roaming in your backyard, our evolved human brains know that there could always be something in the darkness. While most fears make sense from an evolutionary standpoint, such as darkness, spiders, needles, or storms, there are some fears that just don't. There is a name for almost every possible fear in the world, and yet some of these may just seem a bit outlandish. Be sure to stick around till the end to see the absolute craziest fears we've ever seen. Number 14. Bibliophobia. Now, you've heard of people who don't like to read, but have you heard of people becoming actually afraid of books themselves? Well, a lot of people certainly didn't. The fear of books doesn't refer to the ideas that books hold, their meanings, or anything other than the actual spine and papers. Then again, maybe one could understand this fear if maybe a book hit someone hard one day upside the head. Or maybe if a really dusty book gave you an asthma attack. Hopefully not. Number 13. Arithmophobia. If you have a fear of numbers, then this video is probably sending you into a frenzy. Most people understand that math can be a pain in the butt, but to truly be afraid of numbers is something that seems a bit, well, far-fetched. It's hard to see how anyone could go around and live their lives afraid of numbers. After all, numbers are pretty much everywhere. How do you pay for things? How do you tell time? It just seems like a very life-affecting fear. Imagine sitting in math class while the kid next to you is just screaming his head off. Number 12. Selenophobia. Looks like the man in the moon is at it again. Some people in the world are scared of the actual moon. That little white rock that revolves around us and controls the tide can cause serious fear in folks down here on good old Earth. Maybe it has something to do with werewolves or witches, or maybe both. Then again, if the people with this fear were afraid of that, then it wouldn't be an actual fear of the moon, it would be a fear of witches and werewolves. Maybe they're afraid of an astral object that can control our tides? Well, when you think of it like that. Number 11. Somnophobia. Looks like someone has been watching Nightmare on Elm Street too many times. People with somnophobia are absolutely terrified of sleep. They hate the very thought of going to bed, counting sheep, you name it. It genuinely makes many wonder how these people get rest if they're so afraid of going to sleep. Do they just pass out from exhaustion? Can they even help it? Do they have nightmares when they sleep? Plenty of good questions to ask someone who is afraid to let their head hit the pillow. Number 10. Chromophobia. People with chromophobia have a fear of colors. This one isn't specific to any color. In fact, the only colors many think this person wouldn't be afraid of is black and white. One could argue that those aren't even colors, but, well, that's up for debate. Some people's favorite color is black. Number 9. Ephibiophobia. Some people are just absolutely horror-stricken with the very idea of teenagers. Their newfangled music, fashion, panicking at discos, and boys falling out and whatnot. Though the general population tends to view hatred of teenagers as a normal thing, they may not have considered teenagers themselves to be a source of fear. Number 8. Dendrophobia. Now, what did the trees ever do to these people? Honestly, come on. All they do is relax and give us oxygen. If anything, trees should be afraid of humans. Regardless of what tree lovers think, some people are very scared of trees. They want nothing to do with nature, the Lorax, or roots. Whatever happened to people to make them scared of Mother Nature's children, we'll never know. Number 7. Anthrophobia. Speaking of being afraid of Mother Nature's children, people who have anthrophobia are absolutely terrified of flowers. Any type of flower, even the pretty ones, these people just want nothing to do with them. Buttercups, lilies, roses, no type of flower would work. If your partner has this fear, you'll have to get them chocolates or something for Valentine's Day, because flowers are obviously way out of the picture here, unless you want to scare them. Number 8. Hippopotomonstros esquipedaliophobia. People affected with this phobia are absolutely terrified of long words. Photosynthesis? It's not the process itself that's scary, it's the word. Speaking of words, get a load of the word for the phobia of long words. Ironic, isn't it? You'd think this would be the shortest word ever, as to not scare anyone with this fear more, and yet here it is. In fact, the only word that might be longer than this is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, if that. If you're enjoying this video, then make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and we will personally reply to your comment. Number 5. Kumpunophobia. See, now with this fear, A lot of people want to know if this is a fear of buttons on your clothes or like mechanical buttons. What makes people with this phobia shake with fear is the idea of a button. Whether it's a mechanical button, the big red one we all want to push but won't because it will destroy the world, or that button your grandmother sewed on for you after tearing your blouse. While this isn't a fear that would hinder your ability to live your life, a lot of people would want to know where a fear like this would originate from. Was there some kind of traumatic button experience when they were younger? Nobody knows. Number 4. Papyrophobia. People who have this fear have been cursed with an inability to tolerate paper. They are afraid of paper in general. Construction paper, books, magazines, notebook paper, you name it. Any type of paper would put these people into a seriously scared state. These people must find living in the world we're in today a very serious issue. Paper-wise, it wasn't near as bad as it was before the digital age, but even today, there is still so much paper. Pamphlets, playbills, newspapers, flyers, you name it. And let's not even get started on school. Syllabi, assignments, notes, and textbooks everywhere. Number 3. Arachibutyrophobia. Now, it is obvious that some people have severe allergies to peanut butter, and that would make this fear make sense, but for someone that doesn't have this allergy, to be afraid of the best friend to jelly is a very strange situation. If you showed a peanut to this person, they wouldn't be upset, but turn the peanuts into peanut butter, and you'll send them into panic mode. Number 2. Barophobia. People with barophobia are scared to death of, well, gravity. The force keeping humans attached to the Earth and pulling the moon toward us? They hate it. Maybe people with this fear just really want to fly around like astronauts in space. Maybe they hate walking around. What makes someone wake up one morning and think that staying grounded to our little planet is horrifying? Who knows? It could be that they've seen too many space movies. Number 1. Geniophobia. Now, if you stayed till the end of this video, you've been prepared to be shocked by this one. Well, you heard it right. Some people's nightmares are filled with knees. Simple as that. Bony knees. Your patella bones are striking fear into the hearts of men and women around the world with this fear every day. Again, this is definitely one of those fears that many want a backstory for. They want to know what makes someone see a knee and find it utterly horrifying. They want to know exactly what happened in this person's brain for this fear to develop. And if you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more.